Ooh, let's get this straight. Better. What's up, readers and friends across the internet? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Read Much. I have another book review for you. This is a classic book. I'm trying to read more classics, get into the old school stuff, and this was not a disappointment at all. This is another one of those books where I've already watched the movie. And this one actually is such a good book that it has two movies out. True Grit. It's got the old version, the new version. I've seen the new version, I haven't seen the old version. And it didn't take away from my experience. I really enjoyed this book. It's really short, and it just shows how when you have a good author, you don't need a lot of pages to tell a gripping, good story. And I thought this was a short book, and it was a lot of fun to get through. So this story is all about a girl. I cannot remember her name right now. I'm going to put it, Maddie. Her name's Maddie. Maddie's this little 14-year-old girl going on 30. Her dad is murdered, and she is out for justice. She is on a mission, and she basically takes like the head of the household role. Like she even takes like authority over her mom. She is a beast mode kind of girl. If business needs to be taken care of, you want this girl taking care of it. Like one of my worst things that I don't want to do is haggle for stuff. I hate trying to buy cars because I know it's one of those things where they're gonna start high and I could probably chip $2,000 to $4,000 off of a car. This girl's like, yeah, I ain't paying that. It's worth this much money to me, and this is why. And if you're gonna sell it higher than that, I'll walk. I'm not gonna deal with this. Or if you owe it to her, like if she thinks you need to buy something from her because it's the right thing to do, she'll be like, no, you need this and they're worth this much money. No, do it. It's like talking to The Rock. This girl's like Dwayne The Rock Johnson as a little 14-year-old girl. It's crazy. If you have any type of biblical background, this girl is reformed. I'm not reformed, but it's fun to hear her little, it's fun to hear her quote scripture or references throughout the book. One of them was wrong. I don't remember which one it was, but I looked it up and it didn't make any sense. So I have no clue what that was about. But the girl's sense of humor is dry, but it's kind of, I chuckled throughout this book. Like one of the things she says about cats, literally she says, who hasn't seen Satan in their sly faces? It's like, oh my gosh. But she has comments about horses and pigs and cats. For the pigs, go check out Luke 6. It made me laugh. She doesn't like pigs, man. But yeah, this little girl, she is out to get Tom Chaney. Tom Chaney basically did some undercut thing and killed her dad. And she's like, I'm going for justice. This guy's got to go down. And it begins. You know, basically I felt like this story was reading her journal. It felt like reading a diary. Not like a girly kind of thing, but it was just like, it's told from the first person point of view. So basically I felt like I was just following her tell the story of getting justice for her dad. And that little girl, she demanded respect. She didn't care how old you were. She didn't care your gender. She demanded respect because she was out on a mission. She had business to do, and business shouldn't take into consideration age or gender. Business is fair, and if you're not going to be fair, she's going to let you know. It was intense. She was a boss. But yeah, this story was a lot of fun. Basically, this girl has an uphill battle the entire time. She is out on her own. Sorry about that. I had a little bit of an interruption. Somebody was looking for their phone. We found it. It's right there. Anyway, this girl has an uphill battle the entire time. She's young. She goes on this like adventure to get revenge without her mom. I don't know if she has siblings, but everybody's at home. She is by herself. She's 14. She's working with men because she has to hire men to be like the bounty hunters. Because at this time, come on, if you're in the wild, it's okay. Another thing, this book is the Wild Wild West. Okay. What was interesting for me though is when I think of Wild Wild West, I think of cowboys. I think of sweat, dirt, mud, horses, cattle, the Western kind of look. But then you have to think about it. The whole United States was like the Wild Wild West in the early days. It didn't matter where you lived. Everybody was trying the best to make by. And apparently she lives in a part of the U.S. where it snows. And that was another uphill battle is she is dealing with the cold. And that turns out to be a really big deal in this story, trying to stay warm and not die because it's literally freezing outside. Because I mean, they have to cross rivers. They're trying to track people in the snow, but then if it's snowing, the tracks go away. They have to go to this cabin. It's like, is there smoke coming out of the cabin? How many people could be in this cabin? Are they all on the bad guy's side? It's crazy, man. And it kind of gets you like, I don't know what I would do. And it's not like your dumb like movie stuff today where it's like, oh, there might be somebody in there. I'm gonna go knock on the front door. No. It's like there's probably this guy in there. He's probably a bad guy and he might have friends. Like it's legit. It's believable. There you go. It's believable. And because of that, you kind of you get emotionally involved. And so it was It was a really good little story, really good book. I got the audiobook, so I did it on audible.com, and it was really neat to hear the narrator's background with this book. It was like a family favorite for them. I live in the day and age where there's so many books everywhere. You have libraries, you have ebooks, you have half-price bookstores. If you want a book, you can find it. You can order it on Amazon, buy the ebook. It'll be there now. Where this narrator was brought up, books were a little bit harder to get, and so it was like this book was always on the shelf, and it was a household staple. You know, everybody in the house had read it before multiple times, and so it was something that they all kind of I don't want to say camaraderie, but they did. They all experienced this book and had a good time reading it and sharing their thoughts, and so it was like a big deal to their family, and so it was kind of cool to see how invested they were in this story. It was neat. It was well done for the narrator putting that in this audible book. But between all the stuff that goes on, like the premise where the father got murdered, the girl trying to haggle for good prices on different materials she needs, dealing with I can't think of the guy's name. Basically, the bounty hunter she hired. I'm gonna put his name up here because I liked his name. Rooster. There it is. Trying to get Rooster to take this bounty with her. River crossings in the winter, remember. Try not to die because it's cold outside. Even the issue of snakes, man. That was... I hate snakes. So whenever there's snakes in books... I just ran into a rattlesnake a couple weeks ago while I was running. Awful. I hate snakes. I was on the phone with my mom, jogging with her in my ear, kind of chit-chatting, slow pace. It scared the crud out of me. And poor mom, all she heard was me screaming. Her grown son screaming on the phone. There's a snake, man. I don't like snakes. Evil villains in books, if they're snakes, it's the worst. But the ending of this book, I did not expect. It's like a semi-happy ending. You know, it's realistic. So I did not expect it. Even after watching the movie, I'd forgotten. Good. It was a good ending. It was believable. I can't complain. You know, sometimes you want to end a book with like the butterfly feelings, like, oh, that was so great. It ended such a high note. This one didn't end that way, but it was good. I thought it was a good ending to the little story, to the book. I thought the book was probably realistic, probably believable. You know, when you see movies, sometimes gunfights could last for 10 minutes. Nope. This was real. It was short. It was violent. It was believable. It's not your theatrical, oh, we're going to be shooting at each other for 10 minutes. No, it was quick and it was over with. And you're like, oh my gosh, good people, bad people could have died in that. You know, it was good. It was believable. This stayed true to what a gunfight probably was actually like. All in all, this was a good book. I recommend it to you. If you're looking for a classic, this is a good classic to pick up. I'm sad I didn't have to read this in high school. There's plenty of books in high school I had to read that I really didn't care about. This one would have been a fun one. I look forward to reading more books like it. It was action-packed. It was quick. It was short. It was fun. It went by really fast. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I was satisfied when I finished this book. But if you have watched True Grit, let me know in the comments below if you've read this book. I want to know what your thoughts are on this book. Did you think it was too long? Did you think it was too fast? Do you think it was too slow? Did you get tired of the girl's point of view, or did you really like hearing what this pretty much adult 14-year-old woman had to say? I really like this book. If you enjoyed this book review, please give this video a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe. If you have another book you think I would like, let me know in the comments below. I'll give it a shot, or I'll try to. Today's Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy some time with your family. But I really only have 2 questions for you. 1, what book should I read next? And 2, do you even read much? Bye-bye.